Hi, this is Dan Collins, Editor-in-Chief of Modern Trader Magazine, coming to you live from the floor of CME Group on September 29th for Traders Exclusive. Well, recently we've been talking a lot about the Fed and the possibility that the Fed might have moved at its September 21st meeting. As you know, they did not. However, it was a little bit different this meeting because they noted in the minutes a lot of the wording had changed, that they moved closer, that the news has been more supportive of a tightening. They had three voting governors voting to have tightened at that September meeting, and they made a really positive affirmation that they will tighten this year. 2 meetings left, only 1 meeting with press conference in December. I think they really stepped out, committed to a December tightening. So what does that mean? Well, a couple of things. There's a broad part of the market just thought that they were on hold. All of a sudden, as we mentioned here, the economist for Goldman Sachs has said a real possibility of a September tightening. There was some momentum building, and Friday, September 9th, you had a huge 60-point drop in the S&P based on really the notion that all of a sudden the street had believed that they would move. It was kind of a protest sell-off like we've seen throughout. There was a rebound, but it didn't rebound all the way, and I believe if you look at the market since, that the commitment to actually doing something in December is the reason the market hasn't come back on. So despite, past of these periods and thrusts and parries with the Fed, that some lasting damage if you call it, some lasting movement in the market is in for December move. So that's priced in somewhat. Here's the thing that's, I think, a great opportunity. Like more normal times, Fed activity is usually a buy the rumor, sell the fact. The economy is going poorly and there's bad numbers. Bonds are going to rise with the anticipation of the Fed easing. And then when they eventually do, when they eventually make a move, then you see the opposite reaction. So in December, I don't think anything will happen in November. There's been talk of a 12.5% move, which would lock things in at 50 basis points and would at least hold them to moving this year. But I think you'll see a tightening in December, and I don't think you'll see, if you see a sell-off, a protest sell-off, like you did in September, like you did in June under the idea that there might be a move, I think you'll see a buy the rumor, sell the fact rally once it happens, especially in December, which is a strong month for equities. I don't know I think the threat of a tightening will keep the market from making new highs, probably up to that point. But once they pull the trigger, I think you'll see a huge rally going into it, as opposed to what we've seen are these protest sell-offs. So in that part of it, the September meeting is a shift. They made a really strong commitment to doing something this year, most likely in December. And I think, ultimately the reaction will be positive, and why wouldn't it be? Now, problem with promising a tightening next time is always what's going on in Europe, what's going on with the unemployment numbers. If you have a bad number, how do you justify it? And I think they really did paint themselves in a corner. The idea of that eighth of a point move, maybe locking in a set rate rather than doing the range, moving it from quarter to half to three quarters, I think they're locked into that. So if you do have some significant bad numbers that they have to deal with, that's where you might see a 12.5 basis point cut, saying, okay, now we're locked in at 50 basis points, and then they can kind of stay to their words. This has been Dan Collins, Editor-in-Chief of Modern Trader Magazine. Keep on looking at futuresmag.com. We have the analysis going up every time. See you next time.